Cleveland lost because of injury, not because of their plan. Their guys got hurt at the wrong time. And if they can maintain some health, they're going to have a chance to make the Eastern Conference Finals. That's what I think. Greetings and salutations, and welcome to the Odd Coaches Podcast. I am your host, Dr. Keith Adams, and on today's Wind Up Wednesday edition, we're going to talk NBA front office rankings. We're going to introduce you to the EuroBasket tournament because some of your favorite players will be playing, and I am sure teams will have their fingers crossed about it. And we will talk about WNBA news and notes, including the long discussion about how much they should get. So let's go ahead and get started. With me today, Captain for Life, Will Cotton. Will, the divide between the NBA's best and worst front offices continue to widen. There was a few media reports out there and rankings. So we want to have our front office rankings. So in your opinion, give me a team that's really doing it right in terms of how their front office is working.
There's a lot of teams right now that you can see are doing things the right way. If you're really talking about front offices, obviously you got to speak on OKC. I mean, what they've done. But I think the other team that was in the finals, Indiana. That team was a small market team. They weren't bringing a lot of, sexy, I would say, free agents. They were able to sign Pascal Siakam, and they were extend Halliburton. I think they're looking for a contract for Miles Turner. That's a really good crew. That's a really good crew of guys. You've put some really good guards around them that are really good guys. Mathurin, pretty good guard as well. They put a really good young team together, despite being a not sexy location. There's no Indiana Beach.
No.
There's no there. So I think they're doing a really good job. And I think quietly, Orlando is doing a really good job in GM as well, too. They're bringing some really good talent. I know when you're bringing the Pablo Banchero, you can't really miss the kid like that, but they're really put some good pieces around him that focus, that work with him. They have some great bigs. They have some tough, scrappy guards. Those are teams that are really good. And of course, I got to holler at my Washington Wizards. Despite the records the last 2 years, they're not the worst front office right now, which is actually surprising for a lot of people. So if you look at the third iteration of them, they are looking now to, now we have our young core, quote unquote. Let's try and win some games. They have some vets blended in. They have CJ McCollum. I think Chris Middleton still there. So they have
give him a week.
He's still a voice, but you need those professionals, coach. You need those guys who are like, hey, I show up. Hey, where you eating? Eating McDonald's? Nah, let's go over here and teach them how to eat. Teach them how to study, how to show up early, how to stretch, prepare your body. That's what they need now. So this is the third iteration that they're like, okay, our young guys are in. Let's work on it. Let's create a process. Let's tighten it down. And then as they start to progress, they will shed those older players and continue to grow, just like pruning trees, So
there's a plan, and I appreciate that about Washington. For myself, I love what Houston's doing. They're going to compete. I like what San Antonio is doing. And I tell you, Will, Philadelphia is going to surprise some people in the East, because if they can manage Embiid's health along with Paul George's health, they got a really good draft pick, and they're going to make some noise. And a team that's messing it up for everybody is Utah, because they're smart enough to know that they're not a destination. So they try to put together contracts in place for them to, have some sense of knowledge. And the last team, before we get to who's not doing it right, Cleveland lost because of injury, not because of their plan. Their guys got hurt at the wrong time. And if they can maintain some health, they're going to have a chance to make the Eastern Conference Finals. That's what I think. So based on your knowledge and your feelings, who's not doing it right, sir?
Well, it's always Sacramento. It's got to be Sacramento. I mean, you see all these guys are playing for Sacramento who are playing in the playoffs, and all the young players in the playoffs, and they got these older guys, DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine. Sabonis is not old or anything like that, but these guys are. This team should be making the moves into the playoffs. I mean, this is a good team. I mean, if you're talking about just names, they should be able to at least win a round in the playoffs. But I think they're just muddled. They don't know what they're doing right now. I think the Bulls are lost as well. I mean, the
A
Boston,
loss.
yeah, the Bulls are lost. I don't know what they want to do. I don't know if there's anybody. Kobe White, I guess he's the most exciting player in there, but little guy ain't gonna get people excited about the game. And obviously, the Pelicans continue to just be mismanaging superstars. I mean, AD's gone, Zion's gone.
Zion's not gone yet.
Well, he's not gone. He's not gone. But you can tell they're one step off. They're done with him. They're not really good with like with player relationships. They're not very good. Like people come here, you would think guys come to New Orleans, they would love to come to New Orleans. It's a great city, food's great, sports town. They've won before in the Saints, so they know they love it. But they keep fumble the bag. It's unfortunate. They're not doing it the right way. And obviously the Lakers, I don't think they're handcuffed until LeBron leaves or they trade him or something. But they cannot get better. And if going with Luka, it's going to be another rough run because he's only getting bigger, and his game is slowing down, and they're exposing his defense. So I don't think they really. Well, again, they're new, so we'll see. But right now, I don't really know what their plan is.
All right. So for me, Phoenix has not done a very good job. Dallas lucked into some success. Nico saved his job because he got the number one pick, but now it's like, how are we going to fit these pieces in? And the expectation is they're going to win, but Kyrie's going to be out a lot because of the injury. Toronto's a rebuild situation. They got rid of Masai Ujiri. Good luck with that. And Denver, I hope you do a good reset because you didn't do business the right way. And now you got all of these other issues. So should be an interesting offseason. NBA should be a little more quieter now that teams have maneuvered, and you just hope that month away nobody gets into too much foolishness. But when we get back in segment 2, we're going to talk about what some players are doing on their summer vacation in terms of the EuroBasket tournament. We'll be right back on the Odd Coaches Podcast. Hi, everyone. Dr. Keith Adams here. And for over 30 years, I've dedicated my life to helping student athletes succeed, not just on the fields and the courts, but in the classroom and beyond. And that's why I founded the CKA Save Project. The CKA Save Project understands that finding the balance between academics and athletics is crucial for long-term success. That's why the CKA Save Project offers a range of programs, including personalized consulting, mentorship, and coming in 2027, our innovative Gap Year Basketball Academy designed to assist both young men and women reach their full potential both on and off the court. I'm incredibly excited to announce that the CKA Save Project is now partnering with the Cascade Sports Network. This partnership will allow us the opportunity to amplify our message and reach even more student athletes through the Odd Coaches Podcast and other exciting initiatives. Join the CKA Save Project and the Cascade Sports Network as we empower the next generation of student athletes. Visit CKA on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org to learn more. Let's work together to find the balance and help unlock your potential. Welcome back to the Odd Coaches Podcast in segment 2, summer basketball. Okay. The Las Vegas Summer League has come to a close, and I am actually trying to get out there next year because that's fun. There's not going to be an NBA game to watch until October when preseason game starts, and we will be, meaning CKA season ticket holders, to the Sixers and the Wizards. However, EuroBasket is here. EuroBasket 2025, the newest edition The competition to crown a European basketball champion will take place from August 27 to September 14th. And because the times of the games, you'll be able to actually see them and not even worry about it. Games are going to be in Cyprus, Finland, Poland, and Latvia. The tournament will feature 24 countries and dozens of NBA players. Giannis is on the roster for Greece. Luka has said he's going to play for Slovenia. And Will, if you've seen him, he still looks in shape. Now, Victor Wembanyama and Rudy Gobert, they're not playing. And the Joker, Nikola Jokic, has not made his final decision. So, Will is somebody who's played for me, who knows how scared I am about every little thing in the offseason. If you're an NBA general manager, especially like take a look at the France roster for Wizards Europe, how are you feeling about guys playing in the EuroBasket tournament?
Well, the one thing I want to do is I would say to the guys who are playing is don't kill yourselves. Don't.
They're playing for their country, though. Will
don't look. You can do that. Play hard. No, play hard. Play hard. Don't kill yourself. Don't kill yourself. If you're hurt and you can't go, don't go. Don't play. But I think there are certain players, like Euro players, who just need to keep playing. I mean, it's a different mentality in America when you're playing basketball. I feel like Euro basketball, when the guys are done playing basketball, they really go vacation. They go to their country and they're getting wine and they're eating and they're hanging out, and that's just their environment. So I think the best thing that can happen for Luka, the best thing that can happen for the Joker, is keep playing nice basketball. When they played Luka, when Joker, when he played in the Olympics a couple years ago, he was playing hard, but he kept his whole streamline of basketball from end of the season, Olympics, start the season. He had an amazing season. He was dropping like 55s and 70, like crazy numbers. So I think there's certain guys that just have to keep playing. Don't kill yourself, but I would definitely, as the GM of Los Angeles Lakers, I would be at those games in Slovenia.
I am flying out there.
Yep, I'm there. First, I'll be there before you get there. I want to see what the court look like. I want to see if there's anything. But
right.
Yeah,
I'm hypocritical, as you know. Summertime is Will Cotton's time. Will, you play all the minutes you want. Following, you've got like 3 games, and then we don't want to do anything with you. So if I'm the Washington Wizards, hey, France, play Balai, Koulibaly all you want. Play Alexar all you want. Go get them reps because young legs run free.
Yeah.
If I'm the Lakers, I need Luka to stay in shape. So can we do a minutes thing? Because FIBA rules, it's only a 40-minute game. It's not 48 minutes. Those games kind of fly by like a college game in those 2-hour windows. So I'm happy he's not back home drinking extra wine. But on the flip side,
Bud Light. That's what he liked. That's his name, Bud Light.
But on the flip side, I don't know if I want Giannis playing right now. I don't know if I want Joker playing. But hey, Luka Garza, go ahead and get them minutes, boy. Go on out there and go handle your business, man. So I am looking forward to watching it. I'm excited about watching France. Because again, the Wizards and the season ticket holder and my boy FD, who couldn't be with us, he's gonna, give us all the insight. But yeah, I always get nervous.
Who got the what channel got that contract?
I am sure they'll have some games on NBA TV, and by the time it starts in late August, we'll have the schedule for everyone. So with that, in segment 3, the nation's talking about it. We're going to talk about it intelligently. We have the WNBA and their contract negotiations, their CBA. Let's have that conversation. We'll be right back on the Coaches Podcast. Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Keith Adams, and for years, I've witnessed the struggles student-athletes face on how to truly balance the demands of academics and athletics. It's a question that I have dedicated my life to answering. That's why I wrote Finding the Balance, my personal journey to academic and athletic success. It's more than just a book. It is my personal journey, and it is filled with hard-earned lessons from decades as a coach, educator, and now president of the CKA Safe Project. Inside, you will find practical advice, real-life stories, and a clear roadmap to help student athletes, coaches, and parents navigate the complex world of balancing sports and education. And now I am thrilled to bring this message to a wider audience as a proud member of the Cascade Sports Network. We're partnering to amplify these crucial conversations about student athlete success. I believe every student athlete deserves the opportunity to reach their full potential, both on and off the court and the field. You can purchase your copy directly from our website at www.casafeproject.org. Join me and the Cascade Sports Network as we work together to help every student athlete succeed. Welcome back to the Odd Coaches Podcast in segment 3, WNBA at the midseason. And this is a very good time to have a conversation about the state of the league and the current CBA negotiations. So the current CBA expires October 31st after the players used an opt-out clause last October. So at the WNBA All-Star Game, people know they wore a T-shirt that said, "Pay us what you owe us," in white lettering, and now they're selling those, and the internet went crazy. You got fans with signs that say "pay the players." You got other people who really don't understand math, very angry on social media. Here's what you cannot deny. The WNBA has seen undeniable growth the last couple of years, in part due to Caitlin Clark coming in the league. And we can't turn our side head to say that a player from the middle of the country is coming in doing amazing things. And the WNBA was so not ready to deal with what's coming up that. Another thing that happens, and Big John Thompson told me this, God rest his soul, he said, "Don't tell me how old you are when you start taking the money." Nobody wants to hear about that. So the WNBA wants publicity, wants a lot of stuff, and with that comes negative interactions. And they're having a lot of negative interactions and a lot of scrutiny that they've never had before. So that's a different thing. Also, they show gains of being a viable business. They've got a new deal coming in with TV. They've got new teams coming in with expansion fees of $250 million, but they're also en route to a lockout. So, Will, you have had an opportunity to see the reaction. You're an intelligent guy. Tell me your thoughts on all of the noise surrounding the WNBA and the CBA and pay us what they owe us. What are your thoughts, sir?
I think the first thing I noted on Twitter, I saw that Angel Reese was like, "I'm not going to be quiet. I'm going to be talking." Da 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 da. One of the biggest things I've learned about negotiations is the person who listens usually gets the better deal. The person who's talking usually gets ignored. Now Angel Reese, I think she's part of the negotiations. Now, I don't know how this is going to go around if people are saying, "Pay us what we want right now. I want to be paid." People don't want to hear that. They want to hear stats. They want to hear data. They want to say, "Okay, well, if you come with us and say there's been X amount of more viewership, millions of viewership, ads, jersey sales, accumulate all this information and say, hey, this is why we need more money because we're generating a lot more money," which is a more viable, understandable, like something I can understand. But the pay me more, and they don't really know what they want just yet. They're saying pay me more, but nobody knows what that more is exactly, So when you go out and you say pay me more with just a blanket statement, people are like, "Oh, you want to get paid like LeBron. You want to get paid like SGA. You want to get paid by these NBA guys." And no, that's just not going to happen. But I think they should really say, hey, instead of just saying, we want money, we want money, we want money. Well, no. Say, this is what we're trying to aim for. This is the kind of value that we bring to the WNBA and the NBA itself, because it's all inclusive. And this is why we need to change this CBA and the percentage of the money. That's a real conversation. But this, like, and also, t-shirts and stuff. Like, I always thought to be very corny. I always thought they're very unprofessional in ways. Guys with the t-shirts. Oh yeah, everybody got the t-shirt on. Like, it's just not enough. But I think the money will follow. I think they'll get more money. I think it may be a little standoffish. There may be some labors broken. As you say, they're not playing, but I think they'll get done, and they'll get way more than the 9% that they're getting now, for sure. They're way more than that. So, but don't listen to the loudest person. Listen to the person who's listening, who can move forward and get the conversation done.
Okay. So last week I brought up a little bit. This week, I want to continue, as Will said, to bring some data to it. The NBA owns about 60% of the WNBA, and it holds on to the purse strings. The WNBA players have limited autonomy in terms of the business decision, including the broadcast rights negotiations. The actual gap of average salaries between the leagues is more than 9.8 million. We're not doing that because it's different. You also have the fact that WNBA season is condensed, and one of the things that happens due to that condensedness of the season is a lot of injuries are taking place. So with that being said, 9% of the pie for the players, when the NBA players get 50% of the pie, that's not good. So feel how you want to feel about the money they're bringing in, not bringing in. Yesterday's prices are not today's prices. So you have a better TV deal coming in. You have more teams coming in, which means more jobs, more players, more coaches, more trainers, more this, more that. But that fact is, what is the number that's going to make everybody happy? Because you're not going to get 50%. I know that. You could ask for it, but you're not going to get that. So where's that happy medium? And that's why I think the internet, bless their hearts, loses, some of their credibility, of which they have none. So, Will, with that being said, close us out based on the fact that the NBA, 60% of it, they've been losing money year after year. Okay, but more money's coming in. And did I mention Juju's coming? Did I mention the AZ Fudd's coming? You've got another slew of stars coming in right at the CBA window. Please don't do a work stoppage, because we'll lose interest very quickly.
Yes, that's the one thing. That's
tell us what you think as we wrap up, Will, this segment.
I think you agreed, Coach. You can't have a work stoppage. You can't. The momentum right now is so amazing. And I hate to say this, but part of the patriarchy is that nobody will care if they don't play. And it's too real to say, but if they do not play, nobody's going to be clamoring saying, man, I wish the WNBA was here. Man, I miss it. We didn't even say it when the NHL had the strike. And remember, they had it in like 2000. They missed a whole season. Nobody was clamoring, talking about, man, I sure do miss the Washington Capitals. Nobody cared. It was 2005.
We will find something else to do.
Yeah, there's too much. There's too much now. There's too much. I mean,
even in COVID, The Last Dance captivated. We found something to watch.
So, oh yeah, I mean, people were watching Japanese baseball. I mean, they will find something to do. I mean, remember, previously after COVID, now golf is amazing, popular now. That's another thing that you want about. All wrestling has had a surge and is way more popular. So yeah, that's the last thing you can do is stop the momentum that the WNBA is going right now. I think they will get the money that they want. I don't know if it'll get up to the levels of the NBA, but if you think about it, right now, the Jujus and the Paige and Caitlin Clarks, they're going to be the Bob Cousy's They're going to be the Larry Bird, so that my kids and people who have kids now who are 5, 6, 7 years old playing basketball, their daughters will go to the NBA, WNBA, and they'll be making the money. So start it now, and it's unfortunate. I know that the legends now are kind of salty about it, but you're building a brand. Trust me. There was guys, Bob Cousy, who ain't making money that they were making now, who's like, I can't believe what's going on. So you have
Yeah.
to stand. You have to be, you have to be one of the greats and sacrifice for the greater of the good. So I think it'll happen. Just we'll see what happens though. Just don't take a
All right.
work stoppage. No
Don't do
work
the work
stoppage.
stoppage.
Don't do it.
All right. So as we close, a couple of quick hitters from this past week. One, shout out to Nima Obadar, friend of the show, TBT tournament. Shell Shocked is still in it. And hopefully when this comes out, they're still in it. Kudos to Nima. I know how much work you've done with that. So we're really proud of you, Nima. And again, Nima's just a good guy. I wanted to make sure I said that. And two, we had three deaths this past week that I would be remiss if I didn't say something. Because yeah, I'm up a certain age. One, Malcolm Jamal Warner passed away. Theo Huxtable, and I hope nobody like cancels me for this, but I grew up on the Cosby Show, and Thursday night was must see TV, and we had Cosby Show, Family Size, Cheers, The Night Court, and then A Different World came in, and because of A Different World, a whole lot of folks actually went to college, and Bill Cosby created those shows, and because of his flaws, his personal life, it is not widely seen. But Theo was everyone's brother, and Theo was pretty much Bill Cosby's son, Ennis, and he grew up to do a multitude of things and had a lot to do. He was acting. He won a Grammy, similar to Kobe. I mean, it's like, dang, this guy did way more after the little career than that. So his death hit a certain way with a
Mhm.
lot of folks of my generation. And then with the early reruns, Will is a generation beyond me. So they used to see that all the time, and the Gordon Gartrell shirts and the this and the that. So man, much love to his family. That sucked. Two, Ozzy Osbourne passed away, and I am a wrestling historian. And my favorite wrestling tag team was the Road Warriors, whose original song was Iron Man. And when you heard "Oof, oof, oof, I am Iron Man," and they ran out to the ring and beat up everybody, wow, that was exciting. And I didn't even know Crazy Train had lyrics because I just heard the doo doo, doo doo. And I'm like, man,
Oh
that is
yeah.
awesome. And then I like heard like this, oh, this is a song? Wow.
Hmm.
So the Black Sabbath, the Ozzy, and then Ozzy got personalized with the Osbournes and reality TV and so forth. So, to a lot of people, he wasn't the Prince of Darkness. He was that crazy old uncle on television. So again, bless his heart. But finally, I have to address it because most people who know me know Prince is my favorite singer, and I watch professional wrestling. And my players, one here is like, will you not have wrestling theme songs on the warm up tape? Okay, let's. So Hulk Hogan passed away, and Hulk Hogan is the most recognizable name in wrestling. It's not Bruno, it's not Dwayne, it's Hogan. And Hogan from 1982 with Rocky 3 to about 1991, and then you had the little pause, and then from 1995 to 2000 was the biggest name in the sport. And one of the things that I have to make sure people understand from me is that I'm able to separate the character that I saw that may be cheer, boo, or whatever to Terry Jean Bollea, who had a lot of flaws in his life and did things that irritated, and rightfully so. You can be upset. So the memories that I have through the wrestling piece, good, bad, or indifferent, I have those. But wrestling itself is inherently racist. Feel free to look up the last time a black male singles wrestler was in a WWE PLE. You can look that up. That's fine. And that's okay too. But I just wanted to make sure that I said, hey, my childhood is like breaking up now because I'm 52, be 53 in a couple of weeks, and I can have that. And I hope the internet doesn't skewer me because I'm like, yeah, man, Hogan was a wrestler. Terry played the character, and Terry had a lot of flaws. And I wish Terry was humble enough while he was living to say, "I made a mistake." This is what we tell our children all the time. When you make a mistake, you admit you made a mistake.
Yeah.
You sincerely apologize. You try your best not to make that mistake again. You provide some restitution to whoever you wrong, and then you live because
Mhm.
we've got to live. And there's a lot of folks who've done horrible things that have come back and kept it moving. So, uh, Will, did I do okay?
You did. No, you did fantastic. Yeah, and to add on, I mean, that's how you do it. I think one of the biggest things to add is the worst and best thing for us is to get older. When I was growing up, Hulk Hogan was a hero. I mean, that guy was amazing. He was a superhero. He was a bigger than life kind of guy. And then as you grow up and you become an adult and you see who the person is, and it happens all the time. I mean, talk about Kanye, talk about Jay-Z, talk about Bill Cosby, talk about anybody in men and women. When you become a man, you see who they are, how they operate. It changes you. But that does not change the fact that there would be no WWE without Hulk Hogan, number one. Number two, Malcolm Jamal Warner is like I lost an older brother, man. I mean, like Coach says, I mean, when Cosby Show was coming out, I was still a little kid, probably just as young as Tempest Bledsoe, maybe her age or something like that. But I was Theo. I was the kid sitting, dad talking to him in the bedroom and having a conversation about go to school and get the grades and it's funny. And, there was so much parallel between my father and me and Malcolm Jamal Warner and Bill Cosby because I was the oldest son as well. So when just see, how he progressed, just so proud of the man, feel like if you messed up, man, Theo gonna be pissed off at me and we ain't even family, Ozzy Osbourne, people don't know about me. I'm a big Black Sabbath fan, big Ozzy Osbourne fan. I've been blessed enough to go to the concerts. I was literally the only black person, me and my wife were the only black person at that concert. And when the dude was when his like 60s, man, this dude was amazing. I mean, this dude could sing as much as he can before he got sick. I really liked his vibe. I've never really fell into the whole Prince of Darkness thing. I've always been into like Coach, when you watch wrestling, when you're growing up, that's what people are. I mean, you are a character. Who you are is what you enjoy. And I really like Ozzy Osbourne. And I was really sad when I heard he passed away because I really loved his music. I was blessed to actually see him in live. And there was really, I mean, he was faulted, but there was nothing really bad about, as much as the Prince of Darkness is, there was nothing that was bad about Ozzy Osbourne. There was a guy who was, a regular guy who had a shtick, same with
It's
Hulk.
rock and roll, baby. It's
Yep.
rock and
I
roll.
mean, and you become bigger than the aura becomes bigger than the person. So I get it. So rest in peace to all the families. Um, we lost some real legends today, this weekend. And yeah, just remember the ones that, are still here, honor them. And the ones that are gone, just love their memory. So it was well said, coach. Well said, coach. And yeah, for sure.
All right. So on behalf of my captain for life, and that's why he's my captain for life, is Will Cotton. I'm Dr. Keith Adams saying thank you for listening and or watching the iCoaches podcast. And we will see you on the sidelines. Until next time, take care.
The iCoaches podcast is sponsored by the CKA Save Project. The CKA Save Project is an industry leader in providing student-athlete academic and athletic support. From assessing student-athletes' academic and athletic skills, to measuring and monitoring student-athlete academic progress, to improving student-athlete time management and organizational skills, the CKA Save Project provides wraparound services for student-athletes from middle school through college. For more information, visit us on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org or schedule a free consultation with Dr. Keith Adams by emailing cka@ckasaveproject.org. We hope you enjoyed today's show. The Odd Coaches podcast drops new episodes every Tuesday through Friday on most weeks. Make sure you subscribe to the Odd Coaches podcast on Apple Music, iHeartRadio, Podbean, Spotify, and YouTube. Follow the Odd Coaches podcast on Twitter and Instagram at Odd Coaches. Follow Dr. Adams on Twitter and Instagram at CKA Save Project. In addition, follow Coach Mike Francis on Twitter and Instagram at Coach Franchise, spelled Coach Franchize. For more information about the CKA Save Project, please visit them on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org. See you next time on the Odd Coaches Podcast.